Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for World Cup fantasy content. My name is Dan and today I have updated my Matchday 1 team to show you guys with a lot of research gone into this one, and I think I'm getting closer to my final team. So if you guys enjoy this video, please do hit the like button. 1,000 likes today would be amazing, and do subscribe if you want more fantasy World Cup content over the next few days. Let's get it, guys. Come on, let's have a look at this team. Alright, so as I said, I've been doing a lot of research over the last couple of days and I've updated my team a lot. All players are now in the game as well and boosters are now available to use, so everything is looking good. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be rolling with for match day 1. Let's start off in goal with Dominguez, who is the Ecuador goalkeeper. He plays in the opening day against Qatar, and Ecuador are a fantastic team for keeping clean sheets. They have been keeping a lot of clean sheets over the past year or so, a crazy amount in fact, and Dominguez has been their main starting goalkeeper during this time, making a lot of saves, keeping a lot of clean sheets, and I'm hoping that he's going to be able to rack up those points against a fairly easy opposition in Qatar. Even though they are the hosts, I still think a clean sheet is on the cards. Into defence, we've got a 3-man defence with Trippier being the first player. He's playing against Iran, which is, again, a very nice fixture. Iran don't score too many goals typically, and England are a team that don't really concede many goals. In fact, we saw at the Euros, England didn't actually concede any goals all the way up until the semi-finals. So they were really, really good for keeping those clean sheets. I'm hoping that they're going to do the exact same thing again. And if Trippier is starting, playing very advanced as a right wing-back, he's also going to be taking corners, taking free kicks, so it's not just going to be him up the field creating chances for his teammates, but he's also going to be on those set pieces as well, which is going to hopefully rack up some assist points and maybe the odd goal. We know he can score those free kicks as well, so fingers crossed for that. Merla is an absolutely essential player, 4.5 million, super cheap. He plays as a left wing back / left midfielder for Denmark. Denmark, a very strong team, and we talk a lot about those goal scoring defenders. Now, defenders in this game get 3 points for an assist, but an insane 7 points for a goal. So finding those goal scoring defenders is going to be really, really important for us. And if we can manage to do that, then hey, I think we're all going to be very happy. And Merla has got a really good goal scoring record for Denmark, as well as a good assist record as well. So he is going to be absolutely crazy in this tournament and has an opening day fixture against Tunisia. Next up, we've got Sosa, who is a 3.5 million left back for Croatia. I've done a lot of research on this and it seems like he is going to be the main starting left back for Croatia for the tournament, which is very, very exciting to have a 3.5 million player playing for a reasonably strong team with a reasonably good fixture on the opening day. Well, their opening day, so that's going to be really good as well. He's definitely the 3.5 million defender to watch. Go look him up, guys. Honestly, he's a young guy. He's the future of the Croatian left back space, I suppose, but yeah, he's looking pretty good. In midfield, we have doubled up on the Argentinians, so we've got Di Maria against Saudi Arabia and De Paul against Saudi Arabia as well. Di Maria has got some really good form coming into this tournament. He's playing very well, playing as a right winger for Argentina. He's scoring a lot of goals, he's getting a lot of assists for his teammates as well, and he's going to be creating some chances and hopefully picking up some key pass points as well among it all. So that should be really, really nice to see from Di Maria. And De Paul, wow, what a player for 5 million. Like, he is so cheap in this game, and yet he creates so many chances for his teammates, and he's going to be making tackles as well. So naturally, with the rules of World Cup fantasy, where you get points for key passes, you get points for tackles made, and he is going to get the odd assist as well, playing against Saudi Arabia, where there should hopefully be quite a lot of goals in that game for Argentina. You hope that he's going to be involved in at least one of them, and even if not, he's going to be creating enough chances for his teammates where he will naturally pick up points and really make that 5 million price tag look quite silly. That's what I'm hoping anyway. We've got Skjald Olsen here as well, 6 million midfielder. He plays as a right winger for Denmark, pretty much nailed on at this point, and he's coming into the tournament again with a lot of good form. He has been playing very well. He's been scoring against big teams, small teams, everyone really, and a good opening fixture against Tunisia again, which is very nice. A little bit of a differential here as well, 4.5% owned, so not many people are going for Skjald Olsen, but he is a very good player player, and hopefully the Danish people watching this video will agree that for 6 million he is going to be a real bargain. And finally, Sarabia has been added to the game. He's only at 0.1% ownership at time of recording, simply because I don't think many people have logged back into the World Cup fantasy game over the last couple of hours and realized he is now in the game and available for selection. Sarabia is an absolutely insane beast of a player for Spain. He really is one of their best attacking players creatively and scoring goals as well. And we saw a little bit of that in the Euros, where he really made a name for himself for Spain. Now, I really like this fixture against Costa Rica. I think this is another really good fixture to target in that opening game week. And 7.5 million, very good price for a midfielder who should be getting a couple of goal contributions. He's going to be picking up points for key passes as well. Really looking good. And finally, let's go up front. We've got a three-man strike force of Messi, Benzema and Morata. Messi needs no explanation. He is the most nailed on player probably in this entire team. He's only 10.5 million, which just seems so cheap for him, and he dominates for Argentina. He really is scoring all of their goals, getting all of their assists. He's involved in 70, 80, sometimes 90% of the goals that Argentina score, whether that's him getting the goal, whether that's him taking the assist. He's going to be shooting a lot as well, so he's going to be picking up points for shots on targets. He's on penalties, free kicks and corners as well, so he's going to be on all of those set pieces, which is just mad. And again, if we look at this fixture, Saudi Arabia, we know Messi can do it in the group stages, that's for sure. This is a game where if Argentina score 4-5 goals in this game, and we've seen that a lot where the big teams play the smaller teams in the World Cup, well, I'll tell you what, this could be an insane one for Messi. It could be an insane match day for him, and hopefully he just goes absolutely nuclear. I really can see that happening. 20-pointer on the opening day. It could happen, right? It could definitely happen. Next up, we've got Benzema, who plays against Australia. I like Benzema a lot because he's going to be on penalties. And also, I feel like often is the case that he's actually scoring more goals for France than Mbappe a lot of the time, which is quite crazy to say, really. He's at the peak of his abilities at the moment. He's a world-class striker, and he's playing, again, one of the smaller teams of the tournament in Australia. So hopefully, that is going to allow a lot of points for him. And because he is kind of priced in a similar kind of area to Mbappe, not too many people are actually going for Benzema. So at 13.3% owned, he could be a real differential. And if France get a penalty in that game, or even if Benzema does it from open play, we know he likes to take a lot of shots on as well. This is all good. This is all really, really positive stuff. And I think he could be a really good scorer and, give us some differential points. And finally, Morata, another differential from me. You guys know I like a spicy pick, but this one is for very good reason. Again, we've got this great fixture against Costa Rica, which Spain have, and we've got a Morata who takes on so many shots. And this is one of the reasons I love Morata, and why I keep talking about Morata is because forwards are now getting 1 point for every 2 shots on target. I know Morata takes so many shots. He is a volume shooter. I've spoken a little bit before about volume shooters and how they're going to be so beneficial in World Cup fantasy. Well, Morata is your guy. A good fixture. He's going to get lots of opportunities to take shots on. He's going to take a lot of shots on. He may not score all of those shots. I'm sure he may be able to get a goal or 2 against Costa Rica. But what's more important is he's naturally going to pick up points. You can see him taking 6 shots in one game. If he gets 6 shots on target somehow, then that's 3 points for him instantly before he's even scored a goal. 4 points if you count the point he gets just for playing in that match. So lots of things to like about him. Onto the bench, guys, and remember, we can switch players from the bench onto our starting 11 because if your player doesn't do very well, so for example, I don't know, if Scout Olsen only gets 1 point, then what I'll do is I'll substitute him off and bring in De Bruyne. Remember, you can only bring in players who haven't played yet. That's the kind of rule of World Cup fantasy. So Dominguez, for example, if it doesn't go well against Qatar in the opening day, I will swap Dominguez out and bring in Costa, Diogo Costa, who is the goalkeeper for Portugal. 5 million, very good price tag, and playing against Ghana, who are the lowest ranked team in the entire tournament. So hopefully that's going to be a clean sheet. We've got De Bruyne there against Canada. I feel like you have to have some kind of player against Canada, right? It's a pretty good fixture for Belgium. So I do, again, like De Bruyne because key passes. Key passes, he's going to pick up a lot of points for those key passing actions. Even if his teammates don't score the goals, even if he doesn't get the assist points, which he will because he's De Bruyne, then he's still going to pick up a lot of key pass chances. Remember, with this situation, all De Bruyne has to do is pass to a player who goes on to take a shot. That is so easy. Whether that's taking a corner, whether that's taking a free kick, if it leads to a shot, that is points for De Bruyne. So we really, really like that one indeed. That's why he's at 49% ownership. Everyone can see he's a fantastic player to own in World Cup Fantasy. Fabian Schär I've got in here as well. He's actually potentially going to be on penalties. The usual Switzerland penalty taker, Ricardo Rodriguez, he's actually missed 3 penalties in a row. And I was trying to figure out who's going to be the next penalty taker for Switzerland. And Fabian Schär is a very good shout for that. And also with Fabian Schär, he is a player who gets goals from open play, or he takes free kicks and scores them. He's a goal-scoring defender, and he's priced at 4 million. Absolute bargain. Let's get him. And Cancelo, I feel like I can't go without Cancelo. I tried some teams without him. It was between Cancelo and Denzel Dumfries. I'm not 100% sure if Dumfries is going to be available for that opening fixture or not, because he is carrying a minor injury. I think he's going to be okay for the most of the tournament, but I have a minor concern about the opening fixture. But also at the same time, it is going to be the Netherlands' most hard game out of the group stages, so I'll be looking to bring in Dumfries in Matchday 2, but for Matchday 1, we're going to go with Cancelo against Ghana. And like I said before, lowest ranked team in the tournament. Hopefully that's going to be an easy clean sheet, and we know what Cancelo can do. He can score goals, he can get assists, he can do all the stuff that we like in our defenders. So that's going to be the team. Now you're probably looking at this team thinking, Dan, that is kind of looks really good for Matchday 1. What about Matchday 2? Well, my current strategy that I'm thinking is to use the wild card in Matchday 2. So for Matchday 1, I'm only thinking about one Matchday. Now, there's different benefits and disadvantages to using your wild card in Matchday 2 or Matchday 3. I'm going to go for the 2 strategy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for the 2 strategy, just because what I want to do is I want to have that opening fixture for every single team. I want to watch every single game, and I want to identify how teams are playing, how teams are set up, who are the star players. I want to watch and consume everything so I can wildcard and get a great team in Matchday 2. So I've planned for that. I'm ready to go. I've got all of my players with amazing fixtures for Matchday 1, and then after that I can start switching out some Denmark players. I can start bringing in some Brazil players, because Brazil plays Serbia in Matchday 1, so I'm not really too keen on that, but I'll bring in Serbia players as well. Like I said, Brazil, the Netherlands, I'll bring in players from them, and we'll fill our team with all of those players like that. Maybe start removing a France player, remove Benzema when they play against Denmark. That's kind of a difficult fixture, and hopefully that's going to all look really, really good. So that's kind of an explanation as to why this team is so good for Matchday 1, but doesn't look like it's thinking about the future, because it's kind of not thinking about the future. It's thinking about one Matchday only, and that's how I'm going to try and get ahead of the game a little bit there. That's my strategy anyway. In terms of captaincy, guys, the rules have finally been updated on the website to give us a little bit of a clearer indication of how they work. And how the rules seem to work for captaincies is you can switch your captain to a new player every single day throughout each match day, as long as the player you are switching your captain to has not played yet. So for example, in this team, my Matchday 1 captain when we start the match day is going to be Dominguez, because Dominguez plays on day 1, the 20th of November. And that's why, guys, I have put all of the dates on screen for you guys so you can see where my captaincy can move to on each day. You can see who's playing later on in the week as well, who are all on my bench. So Dominguez, the only player I have who's playing on the opening day on the 20th of November, he'll be the captain for the first day. It's probably the captain's armband is probably not going to stay on him, but he'll have it for now. Then we'll go to Trippier for the day 2, who plays against Iran on the 21st of November. Then the captain's armband will move to Messi, and that's where I'm hoping that the captain's armband will stay on Messi, and I'm hoping he's going to absolutely dominate it against Saudi Arabia. You can see it happening, right, guys? You can really see that happening. And then after that, De Bruyne should be on the pitch at that point, in which case we'll be moving the captaincy to De Bruyne as long as the Messi captain fails. That's the only way I would move to De Bruyne. And then if De Bruyne somehow fails as well, my last resort will be to put the captain's armband on Cancelo, who at that point will have been substituted on for a low scoring player who is on the field. So that's how my captain will kind of move throughout my team. I'm hoping it's just going to stop at Messi. That's the great thing about having Messi. But you never know. Dominguez could save 3 penalties and make 10 other saves and score 20 points, in which case I will have the ultimate differential captain in Dominguez. Hey, you never know. Like, stranger things have happened in the World Cup. That is why we all love football. And finally, guys, I want to talk about my booster, because I'm now pretty confident I am going to play my 12th man booster in Matchday 1. And the booster, as you can see on screen, guys, it's going to be Mbappe, who is going to be the man brought in. Remember, on a booster, you have an unlimited budget, so it makes sense to bring in the most expensive player in the game, a player who I'd maybe not be fully confident about having in my team if it wasn't for getting him for free, because that is very, very expensive for what you get from Mbappe. But if France go crazy against Australia, then it's going to be the Benzema and Mbappe show, and that's going to be pretty crazy, right, guys? And I think that could be really beneficial. I just feel like using the 12th man, it should really be done in the group stages at some point, because that's when the most points are going to be available to be taken, really. So 12th man in Matchday 1, wildcard in Matchday 2, and then the power captain will most likely happen in Matchday 7, the final round. Most likely, but don't hold me to that. But that's my current thinking in terms of strategy. So there we go, guys. That is going to be my team as things stand. There may be 1 or 2 more changes before the deadline, but I'll probably make one more updated team video to show you what I'm thinking next time. But for now, hey, I really, really like this team. It's got all of the big players playing against the smaller teams, and that's exactly what we want. The upside of all of these players is really, really high. We've got lots of big... This is it. I've not got any Brazil players. Fair enough. We can get them in Matchday 2. I've not got, I've not got any Portugal attackers. But these are the kind of players, or Netherlands attackers. I would love to have some Netherlands players in this team, but I can wait 1 week. If it means going for Di Maria, Messi, Benzema, Morata, De Bruyne, Mbappe against these smaller teams, then I'm more than happy to do it for this week and then make a big change up, big switch up in Matchday 2 after seeing how everyone is playing. I love this team a lot, and I think it's destined for greatness. Hopefully, we're going to be able to continue, or maybe more like repair, our reputation of kind of the last couple of fantasy games I've played. 243rd in the world in FPL, and then in the summer before that, 5,000th in the world in Euro Fantasy. I would love to get another top 10,000 finish in a fantasy game, and that's the plan, to try and do that in World Cup Fantasy. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure you are liking, make sure you are subscribing if you want more World Cup Fantasy content. We've got loads of other videos on the channel. I've made sure that I've just created a bit of a backlog for you guys, so you can go back and have as much access to information, whether that's looking for cheap players, whether it's looking for set piece takers, whatever you want. I'm going to try and have it on this YouTube channel for you guys if you want to do your own research for the kind of players you might want for your fantasy team. But we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Many more World Cup videos to come before the deadline, but until then, I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.